Hello, wonderful people of the internet. I'm Paige, an ultra runner in training. We're almost to my first race, super excited for that, and an overall fitness enthusiast. And today I thought we'd cover some fat acceptance TikToks. I have TikTok pulled up. We're gonna pick 3, maybe 4, depending on how long they are, TikToks, and we're gonna react to them live. I have not seen these before, so if there's cuts in the video, that means I found something that doesn't fit in the video and I had to cut it. Simple as that. Now, quick disclaimer, seriously, don't go pestering these creators. We are not putting them on blast. We are using what they say to talk about mindset and behavior change and maybe poke holes in logic, and if they say something wrong, acknowledge what's wrong with it, or if they say something right, what's right about it. And of course, if you want to say something, anything at all, say it in the comments down below at this video. I welcome it. I love discourse. I love people chatting. Just don't be a jerk. So, without any further ado, let's get into the TikToks. Alright, we got it pulled up. I'm super excited. I honestly really like these videos. So, let's pick this one. I think I've already watched the Splash Maker. There's a Hand Talk Spotties. So let's do the second one.
You want to know something that pisses me off? Is sometimes I'll see videos of like a fat person posting what they're eating or doing a mukbang or, putting extra cheese on top of their Chipotle bowl with extra sour cream, and then somebody will make a Stitch video or all the comments will be like, oh, you're a fat fatty who's gross and fat because you're eating all this fat food.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right here. Seriously, if you see somebody doing something that eating in a way that you think is gross or you don't like it or you think that's why they're fat, don't comment on it. One, because the odds are they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get under your skin, and they're just trying to get you to engage with their content and like comment and share and stitch, because the algorithm likes all that stuff, so they want you to do it. Now, if you do not agree with something, or you think someone's doing something harmful or dangerous, or promoting something harmful and dangerous, what you can do instead is just ignore their content. Don't engage. If you don't engage with it, the algorithm will kill it, and no one will see it, and they will stop making the content. A lot of these creators do stuff to get clicks and views for, like, whatever reason, So, if you think something's harmful or dangerous, if you can report it, and then just ignore it. And it'll eventually fall out of your feed, and if enough people do that, they'll fall off the platform. So that's my view. Now, I agree that a lot of people do that. I don't know what she's going to say about it, but a lot of people do put extra sugar in their food or extra cheese or extra butter just to get a response. Just ignore it. Or laugh at the fact that they're rage baiting successfully. I think that would be fun to read the comments, because, people like to comment on rage bait content. It's entertaining to read people. Alright, onward.
Blah, 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 blah. But then as soon as a skinny person posts a mukbang or whatever the fuck, the comments, quiet. Or they're saying, oh, that looks delicious. Oh, I would love to eat that. Blah, 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 blah. And I just think that double standard is horrible, and it pisses me the fuck off. And anytime I see a video like that, I press do not like, because I'm trying to curate a FYP that is friendly, inclusive, and has a lot of fatties doing fatty activities. Anyways, love ya. Be nice, people. Bye. You want to know something?
Okay. So, yeah, there is a double standard. People will comment on... will not say anything negative about thin mukbangers, but will say stuff about fat mukbangers. I don't know if it's mukbang or mukbang. I say mukbang. But, yeah, and it's because, I don't know, because when you're morbidly obese, you're already in a state of ill health, and if you're thin, you're not in a obvious state of ill health. So those contradict them, and let me tell you, if you see somebody who is thin posting eating challenge, mukbang content every single day, they're not actually eating the food. They're taking a bite, chewing it, and then they're cutting the clip of them spitting out the food. Trust me, there are examples of people who didn't cut it and got caught red-handed. So there are some competitive eaters like Matt Stoney who will do huge food challenges and mukbangs, but they also train harder than me. They train so much. They run and do so much weight. Like, they actually train to be a competitive eater, both physical exercise and, you know, stretching their stomach out. They compete for it. So and I'm pretty sure real competitive eaters who do these real eating challenges only post them like once every month, maybe once every 3 months. It's not an all the time thing, because if you eat like that all the time, you're gonna put on a massive amount of weight in an unhealthy way. So yeah, I do agree there's a double standard, but it's kind of a double standard, but it's more like, you know, when you're super big and you're eating like that, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, of course she's gonna be like that. And if you're super skinny, you'll be like, finally she's eating a cheeseburger. So everyone has something to say, and if it bothers you, just turn the other way and walk away. Because talking to them, responding, being inflammatory is literally just going to make the problem worse, and people enjoy creating drama in the comment section of people's videos. And honestly, if you want to curate your For You page to only include fat people or fat creators, create your echo chamber. And yeah, no, it's not hurting anybody. I personally don't try to create an echo chamber. I like being challenged. But my For You page is just memes and cats and rabbits. I don't know, TikTok just is always like, oh, I think you like rabbits. Here's a bunch of bunny videos. And I'm like, I do like this. This is like eye candy. I quite like the buns. So I guess different people interact with the content differently. I'm somebody who watches a lot of memes and cat videos, and so that's what I get recommended, which I'm waiting for the body positivity stuff to start leaking into my For You page on TikTok, because I've been watching them for these videos. Hasn't happened yet, but the clock is ticking.
Something that pisses me off.
Oh. I've seen her before, and honestly,
don't get mad at
her haircut. And that is an extreme shirt. But I think overall, she pulls it off well. This one's longer, so it'll take longer. I'll try to watch more of it at a time before commenting, because I like to chat. But
me want to tell you this, but your before and after will not save you from being fat. I think the rise of Ozempic has made everyone so brazen and bold to talk about weight loss in such a fatphobic way. Listen, personally, I don't think it's my business, nor do I care what you do with your body and if you lose or you gain weight. But I think posting about it is...
The way she's talking, it sounds like she does care. Because if you don't care, why are you making a video about it? And I know I'm one to talk, I'm making a video to talk about it, but I do care about what other people... I guess I care about spreading misinformation and stretching the truth and that kind of stuff. That's why I'm making this video. But yeah, if you don't care, why are you making this video? Just saying.
For you and for the people who are looking at it. I try to understand why, and then I try to put myself in your shoes. And when I look at it from the grand scheme of things, from the big general perspective, it makes sense. Of course you want to post your before and after photos. Many see it as a notable accomplishment. So of course you're posting about your weight loss. It makes sense, right? And I don't blame you. I think that wanting to be part of this fitness club, I
wouldn't say it's more of a club. It's more, trust me, when you lose a lot of weight, you will feel a sense of accomplishment, because it's hard. We live, especially if you live in the United States. I know some countries are worse, some are better, but I'm using the United States because that's where I live. Some people, I go to the grocery store. The produce section's maybe, of all the fruits and vegetables, healthy stuff, is maybe a third of the store. The rest is all ultra-processed foods that are very high-calorie, low satisfaction, low nutrient density foods. So it's it's easy to eat in this highly inflammatory and unhealthy way, because that's the food culture and food climate. Restaurant foods are a minefield. It's so easy to be overweight that losing weight is a challenge. So yeah, if you lose weight, be proud of it, post it, and if somebody's butthurt about what you're doing with your own life, That's a them problem, not a you problem. Just saying, if you're doing something positive for yourself and someone's mad at you for being, like, making improvements and being happy, why do you care? You're happy now. You've made the improvements. You're feeling better, you know? Don't let other people piss in your cornflakes. Seriously. You know. And before and afters, yeah, you're right. A before and after will not prevent you from regaining the weight back. Especially if you did the weight loss in like a crash diet kind of way, where you cut out all these foods and you starved yourself and now you lost the weight, so you go back to eating the way you were. You're going to gain it back. That's how it works. You want to make permanent, sustainable changes, then you'll lose weight and keep it off. Trust me, I've done the crash diet, lose 10 pounds, gain it back, and I've done the sustainable lifestyle change over time and keep it off. So I've done both. I can tell you the lifestyle change is more effective.
It's something that society is pushing us all into. And then it turns to be that maybe one of the reasons that you post this is to inspire other fat people to lose weight. But then that's where you lose me, because I thought this whole process was for you. I don't know what the point of posting it is. We can see it. We see you have gotten into a smaller body now. What ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor. And you're okay with that. Now here's the kicker. Okay,
so if you accomplish something hard, like losing weight, and you post about it, one, if you inspire people, whatever the reason, who cares? It's your social media. Post what you want. If it's not hurting anybody, post it. And here's what she's talking about now, is being oppressed versus oppressors. In my opinion, people, especially who eat themselves into those heavier 300, 400, 500 pounds, they're not necessarily being oppressed by society. They're being oppressed by their own bodies. Their own weight is making their lives harder. They're making the world less accessible. It's not society necessarily. Society, if anything, is coddling and enabling a lot of the behavior that gets people into these situations. So it's not really a privilege or oppressor-oppressee relationship in my mind. It's more like an actions have consequences, and some of these people don't want to see it that way, because if you see it that way, you have to take accountability, and taking accountability for bad behavior is hard, and it's painful, and it creates all sorts of negative emotions to like put in your mind and understand. So it's difficult. It's really hard to do, but it's okay. Humans can do hard things, and I believe if you're in that space, you can do hard things too. Everyone can do hard things. That's what humans are built to do.
Basically, proven by science, not by me, so don't get mad at me.
I'd like to know what science. I've only ever seen opinion pieces or very loosely science-y articles listed. So I'd like to see the actual science. If anybody watching this video has it, post a link in the comments below. I will read it and react to it live on camera.
You will gain the weight back in 2 to 5
review
years.
it.
Now, I've met a lot of friends who have gotten multiple surgeries and have done things to lose weight, and I met them years ago, and now they're back to their original weight, or some of them are probably a little bit even bigger than they were before. Now you find yourself being back into the same body that you hated before, the one that you were claiming was the worst version of you. And I'm not here to shame or to scold anyone. I think
I wouldn't say being fat, like when I was 170 plus pounds, I wouldn't say that was the worst version of myself because of the physicality. I was actually mentally pretty alright. Mentally, I was fine. I mean, I had some self-esteem issues because, you know, I was 170 pounds, and for a 5 foot tall woman, that's class 1 obesity. And, you know, I didn't feel terrible because, and it wasn't the worst version of myself, because the worst version of myself was me in high school. I was a bitter, hateful person back then. And I wasn't bitter and hateful. I was just fat. I wasn't the worst version of myself, but I knew I had improvements and I had changes that needed to be made. Does that make it the worst version of myself? That just makes it a version of myself. So, if you see it that way of, I could be worse, but I could be better, and try to be better. Always try to be better. Like, right now, I'm not perfect. I could be better in so many different ways, and I'm working to improve that. So if you always work to improve yourself in some way, shape, or form, it doesn't even have to be in body weight and health. It could be mental health. It could be personal skills, personal relationships. If you're always striving to improve something in your life, you're going to feel so much better about yourself. And, you know, once you start those little positive changes, the small ones, it's going to snowball into a roller coaster of positive change and positive feelings. So I highly recommend doing the small positive change. So let's try to finish up the last minute of what she
That
has
is the
to say.
reasonable thing to want to be part of this thinness club, because society has made this the ideal place to be. We all think that thinness is where we're going to achieve self-love and careers and friendships and love, partners. And of course we all believe that, you know, it's the long going myth of what thinness will bring to you. But I think it's more important for you to be at peace with yourself. You're a member of the Thin Club now, but remember that your membership can be revoked at any moment, and it'll push you back to the end of the line where you began, and the vicious cycle continues. I know this is a heavy topic, but I have spoken a lot more about this in depth than enough.
Alright, I think she's just doing her conclusions there. So yes, the Thin Club, you can gain weight at any time, and it happens. And it doesn't matter if you gain or lose weight in the grand scheme of things. It's not going to make you a better or worse person. And honestly, most people don't look at a fat person and go, gross, it's a fat person. Most people will see, like, the look on their face, how they carry themselves. Like, if you are positive and upbeat all the time, energetic, people are going to notice that before the physicality of your body. Where it comes wrong, like this woman, she seems very catty, she seems very negative, she seems to have that I'm oppressed, the world's unfair mindset, which, whether you want it to or not, is going to show in your body language, it's going to show in how you carry yourself, it's going to show in the tone of your voice. People are going to pick up on that, and they are going to reflect that energy back at you. So negative people attract negative people, and positive people attract positive people. Trust me. I know from personal experience that that's how that rolls. Now, let's find another one. J-Bay Official. I'm gonna give J-Bay a break. You know, I heard she was in jail at some point. Alright, let's see. On to J-Bay. We've already reacted to her, the fat bride. Weird insecurities. We'll talk about
This
weird
soy couple wants to make you fat and ugly.
Our arms jiggle, we don't have the time gap, and this is what our tummies look like, and here's what we're eating tonight. Chicken?
Pork fries.
Cabbage salad?
We still eat the mayo.
No matter what your body looks like,
Your body needs food.
please eat today.
The world will be a better place if not only did you get
Okay, so the man was probably overweight, if I had to make a guess. I don't know how calibrated my eyes are. But you don't need a thigh gap. And, like, my arms jiggle. I mean, I'm chubby, but your flesh is going to jiggle whether you're muscular or not. Unless you're, like, a super lean bodybuilder who is cutting for a competition, I'm pretty sure you're going to have jiggly body. That's just how flesh works. And yes, you do need to eat. The difference is how much. Like, if you eat, reasonable calorie foods in reasonable quantities, you're golden. If you eat higher calorie foods, eat them in lower quantities, low calorie foods, higher quantities. As long as you're eating within that, like, body maintenance, or if you need to lose weight, a little calorie deficit, like 200 to 300, you don't need a crazy calorie deficit. You'll be making huge progress. So yes, eat food. Your body needs it. But eat it in the amount your body needs, and try not to go too far out of the more or less unless you drastically need a change. Alright, let's see what the reaction is, because this is reaction TikTok.
a fuck about what you
Muscle
look
man.
like, but instead of body positivity, we have body standards. If you don't look like you can hunt for your own food, or at least in the process of making yourself look like you could, you should not be allowed to eat enough. This soy cup.
Okay, this guy, he was just savage and unnecessarily negative. I don't think you need to look like you can hunt your own food. Because not everybody wants to be jacked, not everybody wants to be super muscular. Some people want to be dainty, and some people want to have a little more meat on their bones. As long as you're within the healthy parameters, like your body fat percentage isn't wildly out of control, your waist to height ratio isn't wildly out of control, and BMI is okay if you aren't super muscular. If your BMI says you're obese, you're obese. It doesn't matter how much muscle you have. If your BMI says you're underweight, you're underweight. But if your waist to height ratio and body fat percentage say you're healthy and your BMI says you're overweight, you're fine. So there's nuance here. But yeah, if your like body measurements, fat percentage stuff says you're fine, and you don't look like you could strangle a bear, you're fine. You don't need to look chiseled. You do not need to look like a Greek god. You just need to have a body you can be confident in that will maintain health and longevity. And unfortunately, obesity does not support health and longevity. So if you're obese, you have to lose weight. But and if you're okay with being a burden on the healthcare system and potentially your social connections and stuff, and you don't mind dying at the age of 50 or 60 after years of ill health, I guess I can't stop you. Me talking to a camera on the internet isn't going to convince you. So, why are you even here? I mean, if you want a rage comment, I will take a rage comment. The algorithm likes comments. It likes to eat them. It's its favorite snack. Alright, I think that was 3. Let's see if we can find another one. How long is this one?
You know what it never was?
8 seconds.
That serious. It was never that serious. Quite frankly, would never be that serious. Never.
When I was 172 pounds, I would have never dared to wear a crop top. Honestly, if you have the confidence to wear a crop top, it's more socially acceptable now, especially amongst people in my age group. So whatever, wherever you want, people are going to comment on it. Especially the older generations, they're going to have things to say. But we have to acknowledge that this woman is in a serious, dire situation with her weight and her health. If she continues on this path, it's very likely that she will become immobile in the next few years. She can be confident, she can be wearing whatever she wants, but she needs to do something to course correct before it's too late. The reason why she's still mobile and the reason why she's still, as lively as she is, I'm going to say she's pretty lively, is because she's young. Unfortunately, youth is the only thing that keeps these people going. Once they start getting into their 30s, 40s, they're going to rely on medication. Diseases like arthritis, joint pain is arthritis, diabetes, all these things will rear its ugly head. It's real. It'll happen. It's not an if, but a when you're that big. And it sucks. I honestly wish that there were no negative health ramifications for being obese and weighing this much, but our feelings cannot alienate reality. Unfortunately, gravity exists, pushing down on your joints. Unfortunately, fat is hormonally active, throwing off your hormone balances. It suffocates your organs. It causes skin infections if you're not hygienic enough. There are so many problems that come with being this obese that it just throws everything for a loop. So, honestly, if you're fat, wear whatever you want. Life's too short to care about what other people think about your outfit. Wear whatever you want. As long as you're not wearing a string thong in front of children or something wildly racy in front of children, you're fine. A crop top isn't gonna kill you. It's not gonna... People might have things to say, I will be honest, but, it's just... Wear what you want. Who cares? If you feel cute in a top, wear the top. And if someone says that top's not your color, say, that attitude's not your color. You know, just, I don't know, sass them back. Alright, I think we have time for one more, so I'll pick out one more. So yeah, I had to reload TikTok because for some reason, whenever I clicked one, it would pull up a different TikTok. I don't understand why I did that. So I'm scrolling back through to see if I can find one I wanted to react to. Ah, here it is.
To live in a bigger body is to live.
Oh, perfect. This is one I wanted to click on, but it pulled up a different one. I'll cut that weird technical difficulties out for you guys. But this will be the last one for the video.
In a body under surveillance is to be noticed if you lose or gain weight. It's to be congratulated for perceived weight loss beyond all your other life achievements. Is to have any lifestyle change met with a sigh of relief that finally you might become smaller. Is to be told making yourself small.
Can we just say her flexibility for her size is fantastic? I think she should continue doing yoga, and honestly, if she wants to be at the top of her game with yoga, she would have to lose weight because, you know, you can't fold it in half if you have a 30-pound gut in your way, you know? But I got distracted. But she's talking about... What was she talking about? Jeez, I got distracted. Let's continue.
Will solve all of your problems. Is to have the people who love you believe that they are doing the right thing to surveil you, believing it is a deep act of care. It's having...
So, telling a really heavy friend or family member that they need to lose weight is honestly an act of care. That shows you care about them enough to tell them that there is a problem. That you're willing to risk the stability of that interpersonal relationship for that person's health. And that is a lot more care than just bringing them the food. That's like saying, I don't want to confront my alcoholic best friend, so I'm just going to bring him a 6-pack of beer. And honestly, if you're in this position where you're super fat and people in your life are telling you to lose weight, and you're like, why are they surveilling me? Why are they policing my life? It's because they care about you and they're worried. It's coming from a place of care, not a place of judgment. So you really gotta understand. If you tell, I wouldn't tell this to a stranger, but a close friend or family member, I would say something because I don't want my friends and family members to have health problems. I don't want them to die at a young age. I want them to live their best life. So yeah. Most of the time it comes from a place of care, not a place of judgment, and it's not to be mean, it's to try to wake you up to this reality of the situation.
People who hate you telling you you deserve to die. It's having comments about how you look and what you eat be an accepted part of your day-to-day life. And I'm not saying that other bodies don't get the scrutiny and surveillance, but we are taught that fat people owe their bodies to others, and we presume that they are aiming for weight loss above all else beyond.
Honestly, if you are obese, you should be aiming for weight loss. Not over anything else. There's some stuff that might be more important, but it's so detrimental to your physical and mental health. And on the internet, people are commenting on your body. It might be out of a place of genuine concern. There are people who do that. Or it might just be coming from a place of trolling. If they're telling you, if they say you should die, you're fat, they're trolling you, they're trying to get a reaction, they're just jerks. Ignore them. If they say, hey, if you keep going the way you're going, you are going to die, that is more of a concerned comment than anything. And more of a warning, I guess you could say. So, yeah, and a lot of people do feel like, and I can see it too, that larger people are more scrutinized. But we also have to understand, especially in countries like the United States, it's also very normalized. This woman right here is obese, if not morbidly obese. I'm not an expert. I would have to look at her scale and calculate her BMI. But her waist to height ratio and body fat percentage is really high. Most people wouldn't bat an eye at her. Like, she could go into a Walmart and most people would be like, yeah, she's average size. She's normal size. That is not normal. That is a problem. that is a deeply rooted societal problem, and unfortunately the only way to fix it is for us as a society and us as individuals to take a long, hard look in the mirror and face the truth that things need to change, or else we are going to be in a really bad situation in 5 to 10 years.
Ever asking or checking. We don't know what someone is going through, and we don't know why their body might change. But what I know is that we don't owe an explanation about our bodies to anyone, and that they are not the property of others for them to comment and pass judgment on as they please. To live in a bigger...
So I don't think it's judgment as much per se. It's more of concern. And there are people who will judge. Humans judge. That's what we do. But yeah, no one, and I agree, no one owes you your body. You don't owe your body to anybody else. But you owe it to yourself to be in the best form and shape you possibly can be. You owe it to yourself to live a long, happy life. And you owe it to your family to be present and there. And if you are in a steep decline in either direction, like if you're drastically losing weight or you're drastically gaining weight, that is a telltale sign that there is something clearly wrong here and course corrections need to be made. Usually, that might be something for a psychiatrist to unpack. I'm not a psychiatrist. I have an engineering degree, so, you know. But yeah, no one owes you your body, but you owe it to yourself to live as healthy as you can. I think that is enough for today. Some interesting content. Overall, I think we need to stop normalizing being obese. We need to stop normalizing the ultra-processed food culture. We need to stop normalizing things like eating cakes for breakfast. And it's okay to indulge occasionally, but when your whole life is an indulgence, that's where we start to run into major problems. So, if you liked this video, or made it this far, please consider subscribing. I am looking on improving my commentary. I think I'm getting better, and I really like making these videos. They're just fun to talk about and react to, and they're relatively, I find them fun to make, so that makes them easy to make. So, if you like the trajectory of this channel, please consider subscribing. Comment down below. I love discourse. I love hearing other people's thoughts. And if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll take any feedback I can get. And stay tuned, because there's going to be more reaction videos like this. And I do plan on posting more running content as well, because I enjoy making those. And I'm going to have my afternoons a little more free for daylight. So there's going to be more running stuff. So with that being said, thank you so much. Have a wonderful whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. I don't know your life or time zone. But have a wonderful time, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.